Hi everyone, welcome to the Storyist. Today I will tell you a story about a beggar who only had 70 cents but chose to give it all to a passerby girl on her birthday. Stay till the end of the video to find out what happened and how the beggar's life has changed forever. People always say that the more we share, the more we receive. But not everyone who believes in this actually practices it, because we are more afraid of not having enough. But most times, it is true that those who don't have much are the ones who never hesitate to give. Peter Roberts has been poor his whole life. He was born to an abusive father and an alcoholic mom. He has been sleeping on the streets ever since he can remember, and never had the opportunity to afford a proper education. He loves reading books from the bookstores he goes to. He loves spending his day beside a newspaper stand and read all day. He is smart, but the world ripped him of a chance to be part of it a long time ago. He walks along the subway station every morning, begging for alms. In the afternoon, he goes to his favorite park and again beg for some money. New York is a very busy place, and it is to no surprise that he is often ignored in the streets. Some are always in a hurry. Some will just throw him a disgusted look and walk away, while some will take time to throw him a few coins into his usually empty cup. Only a few will smile at him or at least greet him. Most of the time, Peter will walk with a signage hung from his neck saying, "It's a beautiful day. Please help me to enjoy it too." By the end of each day, he will get just a few cents that will be enough to buy him food so he can last until the next day. But often, he will save half of his daily earnings and put it in a can. He secures this can inside his filthy bag and carries it around wherever he goes. He has been saving up for his birthday. Every year, he saves half of his daily earnings for his special day so he can buy himself a new pair of shoes from the thrift store and buy himself a delicious meal that can fill him out throughout the day. Looking at his can, Peter realizes he already saved 60 cents. Not yet enough to buy a pair of new shoes he had been eyeing for at the thrift store. He bows his head and sighs of frustration. "I'm never going to get out of this life ever," he says to himself. Peter's birthday has finally come, and when he looked into his savings can, he is disappointed to see only 70 cents. It might not even be enough to buy him a good and filling birthday meal, and it can never buy him a new pair of shoes either. Peter lets out a deep sigh. He saved a triple less this year than his last birthday. Maybe people are getting a little less kinder here in New York, he thinks. Peter is strolling in the park begging for alms so he can at least fill up $1 for his birthday. A young woman passes by. She is wearing a simple white dress and a pair of rugged red shoes. There is nothing unusual about the girl, except that she is crying while walking. This piques Peter's interest, and he calls out to the woman. "Excuse me, miss?" he asks. The woman immediately stops walking and turns to him. Her eyes are welling up with tears. "I'm sorry, I don't have anything to give you at the moment," she replies and starts walking again. Peter feels he has to do something to help the woman, so he walks up to her. He tells her he isn't asking for a penny, and that he is ready to listen to her problems anyway. The woman is surprised for a moment and warms up with Peter shortly. He ushers the woman back to a bench and they start talking. It turns out the woman's name is Lee, and she is having big troubles in her finances. She just recently lost her job, and she has been behind her bills for a few months now. She just received an eviction notice from her apartment, effective immediately. She has nowhere else to go. Her family lives far from New York, and she doesn't even have enough savings to travel that far. She is too close to sleeping on the streets that night. And the worst part is, it is her birthday, too. "Happy birthday," Peter greets the woman. The woman smiles and thanks him, not knowing it is his birthday, too. The woman stops crying, realizing there is a stranger who totally understands her. When she is about to stand up and continue walking, Peter holds out 70 cents on his hand. The woman is shocked because she knows that's all Peter had. "What's this for?" the woman asks. "Buy yourself a meal for your birthday, or a new pair of shoes so you won't be lonely," he replies with a smile. Even in his poor state, Peter believes it is more important to help those around him. This warms the girl's heart, but she is worried about the man, too. "But what about you?" she asks again. "I'm used to this situation, and you're not," Peter answers, and he starts walking away. The woman is very happy. She finally stops crying. She goes the opposite way and goes to live her life. A few months pass, and Peter is still begging for alms. He never had the meal and shoes for his birthday, but he helped someone in need, and that meant more than a pair of shoes and a delicious meal for him. One day, a woman in a corporate suit walks toward him. He doesn't look up, but he'll recognize those rugged shoes anywhere. The woman leans closer to him, and he recognizes her immediately. It is the girl he gave his 70 cents to. "Oh, how have you been?" Peter asks in a friendly way. "I've been better, all thanks to you," she answers. Peter is confused and asks more from the girl. It turns out that the woman did not use his 70 cents for a birthday meal, nor a pair of new shoes. She used it to travel to the company of her dreams and went to an interview. Luckily enough, she got the job and started right away. After 2 weeks, she had earned more than she ever had in her last job, and she afforded to rent an even bigger apartment. She paid all her bills and started a better life. Every time she went to work, she was thinking of Peter, the man who helped her when no one else would, a man who had nothing, but chose to give her his everything. She promised herself that she will help him someday and change his life the way he changed hers. "Turns out your 70 cents went a long way," she proudly shares to Peter. Peter smiles and congratulates her. The woman offers him a meal, the meal he never got to have on the day he gave her 70 cents. He happily accepts, and the two go to a fancy restaurant. At the restaurant, the woman confesses that she has been looking for Peter all around New York. This confuses Peter, knowing the girl won't look around for him just to pay him back with a simple meal. The girl says, "I just bought my first car, and I want you to be my driver. You changed my life back then when you gave me your 70 cents. It might be little, but it was everything for you and for me. It started everything I have now. I want to return the favor, so you will never have to sleep in the streets anymore." Peter is beyond happy and promptly accepts the woman's offer. He has always believed that doing good to others will someday do good for him back, and he is right to wait for this moment, when the world would no longer watch him beg for alms. That's all for today. Don't forget to comment your thoughts and watch more of our life-changing videos. Till next time!